Scene 5, the same, a garden.
Yes, truly, for look you, the sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise ye, I fear you. I was always playing with you, and so now I speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore, be of good cheer, for truly I think you are damned. There is but one hope in it that I can do you any good. That is but a kind of bastard hope, neither.
And what hope is that, I pray you?
Marry, that you partly hope that your father got you the not, that you are not the Jew's daughter.
That were a kind of bastard hope indeed so. The sins of my mother should be visited upon me.
Truly, then, I fear you are damned, both by your father and mother. Thus, when I shun Cilia, your father, I fall into Charybdis, your mother. Well, you are gone both ways.
I shall be saved by my husband. He hath made me a Christian.
Truly, the more to blame he. We were Christians and now before, and now many as could well live, one by another. This making Christians will raise the price of hogs. If we grow all to be pork eaters, we are not shortly have a rasher on the coals for money.
I'll tell my husband Lancelot what you say. Here he comes.
I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot, if you this get my wife into corners.
Nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I are out. He tells me flatly there's no mercy for me in heaven, because I am a Jew's daughter. He says you are no good member of the Commonwealth, for in converting Jews to Christians, you raise the price of pork.
I shall answer that letter to the Commonwealth, then you can better to the Commonwealth than you can getting up out of the Negro's belly. The Moor is with child by you, Lancelot.
It is much that the Moor should be more than reason. But if she be less than an honest woman, she is indeed more than I took her for.
How every fool can play upon the word! I think the best grace of wit will shortly turn into silence, and discourse now commendable, none only but carrots. Go in, sirrah, bid them prepare for dinner.
That is done, sir. We all have stomachs.
Goodly Lord, what a wit snapper are you. Then bid them prepare dinner.
That is done too, sir. Only cover is the word.
Will you cover then, sir?
No, not so, sir, neither. I know my duty.
Yet more quarreling with the occasion. Wilt thou show the whole wealth of thy wit to an instant? I pray thee, understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Go to thy fellows, bid them cover the table, serve in the meat, and we will come into dinner.
For the table, sir, it shall be served in. For the meat, sir, it shall be covered. For your coming in to dinner, sir, why, let it be as humors and conceits shall govern.
Oh, dear discretion, how his words are suited. The fool hath planted in his memory an army of good words, and I do know many fools that stand in better place, garnished like him, that for a tricksy word defy the matter. How cheers thee, Jessica? And now, good sweet, say thy opinion. How dost thou like the Lord Bassanio's wife?
Past all expressing, it is very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life, for having such a blessing in his lady. He finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not mean it, it is reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods should play some heavenly match, and on the wager by two earthly women, and Portia won, there must be something else pawned with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow.
Even such a husband hast thou of me, as she is for a wife.
Nay, but ask my opinion of that too.
I will anon. First, let us go to dinner.
Nay, let me praise you while I have a stomach.
No, praise thee, let us serve for table talk. Then, howsoever thou speakest, amongst other things, I shall digest it.
Well, I'll set you forth.
Act 4, Scene 1, Venice, a court of justice. What, is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I'm sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard. Your grace hath taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer, with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny of his rage.
Go, one, and call the Jew into court.
He's ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Make room, and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then 'tis thought thou'lt show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exactest the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only loose the forfeiture, but, touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, now to press a royal merchant down and pluck commiseration of his state from brassy bosoms and rough hearts of flint, from stubborn Turks and Tartars, never trained to offices of tender courtesy. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I propose. And by our holy Sabbath I have sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that. But say it is my humor. Is it answered? What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it baned? Are you answered yet? Some men there are, loving not a gaping pig. Some that are mad if they behold a cat. And others, when the bagpipe sings in the nose, cannot contain their urine. For affection, mistress of passion, sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Now for your answer. As there is no firm reason to be rendered why he cannot abide a gaping pig, why he, a harmless necessary cat, why he, a woolen bagpipe, but of force must yield to such inevitable shame as to offend himself being offended. So I can give no reason, nor will I not, more than a lodged hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus, a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the thing they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offense is not a hate at first.
What, wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf, why he hath made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well forbid the mountains pine to wag their high tops and to make no noise when they are fretted with the gusts of heaven. You may as well do anything most hard as to seek to soften that, then which that is harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no farther means, but with all brief and plain conveniency let me have judgment, and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
What judgment shall I dread? Doing were in 6 parts, in every part a ducat. I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which like your asses and your dogs and your mules, you use in abject and in slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burthens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours. Let their palates be seasoned with such viands. You will answer the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. A pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor, whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. Sayest thou, Celerio?
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, now come from Padua.
Bring us the letter, call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose from me one drop of blood.
I am tainted, whether of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground. And so let me, you cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
Cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul. Harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe. Bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, inexcusable dog! And for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras, that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy currish spirit governed a wolf, who, hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet. And whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee. For thy desires are wolvish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. Prepare thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where's he?
He attendeth here hard by, to know your answer whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart. Some 3 or 4 of you go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter.
Your grace shall understand that the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in this instant that your messenger came in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together, and he is furnished with my opinion, which, bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him, with my importunity, to fill up your grace's request in my stead. I do beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverend estimation, for I never knew such a young a body with so old a head. I leave him with your graciousness acceptance, whose trial shall better publish this commendation.
You hear the learned Bellario, what he writes, and here, I take it, is the doctor come. Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You're welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed truly of the case. Which is the merchant here, and which the you?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such a rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within this danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the you be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. This mightiest in the mightiness, it becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His sceptre shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above his stripped away. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute of God himself, an earthly power that then show likeless gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore you, thou justice be thy plea. Consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and the same prayer that teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchants there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times o'er, or forfeit of my land, of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth, and I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. Will the recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Oh, Daniel, come to judgment. Yea, Daniel, oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray you let me look upon the bond.
It is, most reverend doctor, here it is.
Shylock, there is thrice thy money of red here.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the you may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear, There is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond.
Most heartedly, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge, oh, excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law had full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
It's very true. A wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond. Doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so, and their balance here to wake the flesh.
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon Shylock on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? Where good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You merchant, have you anything to say?
But little, I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is not still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to view the hollow eye and wrinkled brow, an age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me fair in death. And when the tale is told, bid her be judge, whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, that he repents not for what he pays your debt, for if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it presently with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all, I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife will give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife whom I protest I love. I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this cursed Jew.
It's well you offer it behind her back. The wish would make else an inquiet home.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time. I pray thee, pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge.
And you must cut his flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Most learned judge, a sentence. Come, prepare.
Tarry a little. There is something else. The bond that give thee here not jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then by bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. But in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge, mock Jew, oh, learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, learned judge, mock Jew, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft. The Jew shall have all justice, soft no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge.
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou no less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou talkest more or less than a just pound, be it so much as makest light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated.
But second Daniel, a Daniel, Jew. Now, infidel, I have you on the hip.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take that for forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here it is.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
But Daniel, still I say, a second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not barely have my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Then the devil give him good of it. I'll stay no longer questioned.
Tarry you. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the parties against the which he doth contrive should seize one half of these goods. The other half comes to the private coffer of the state. And the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only, against all other boys. In which predicament I say thou standest. For it appears by manifest proceeding that indirectly and directly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou mayest have leave to hang thyself, and yet thy wealth being forfeit to the state, thou hast not left the value of a cord. Therefore thou must be hanged at the state's charge. That thou shalt see the difference of our spirits, I pardon thee thy life before you ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's, the other half comes to the general state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine.
I for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you take the prop that does sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
A halter gratis, nothing else, for God's sake.
So please, my lord, the Duke and all the court to quit the fine for one half of his goods. I am content, so he will let me have the other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. Two things provided more, that for his favor he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed to his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
Ye shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here.
Art thou content, you? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray you, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it. In the christening thou shalt have 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, thou shouldst have had 10 more to bring thee to the gallows, not the font. Sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner.
I humbly to desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth.
Oh, I'm sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have by your wisdom been this day acquitted of grievous penalties, in lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I delivering you, I am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you know me when we meet again. I wish you well, and so I'll take my leave.
Dear sir, of force, I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as a fee. Grant me two things, I pray you, not to deny me and to pardon.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. Give me your gloves, I will wear them for your sake, and for your love, I will take this ring from you. Do not draw back your hands, I will take no more, and you in love shall not deny me this.
This ring, good sir, alas, it is a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this.
I will have nothing else but only this, and now methinks I have a mind to it.
Oh, there's more depends on this than on the value. The dearest ring in Venice will I give you, and find it out by proclamation. Only for this I pray you pardon me.
I see, sir, you are liberal in offers. You've taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered.
Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell nor give nor lose it.
Thus you serve many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a mad woman, and know how well I have deserved this ring, she shall not hold our enemy forever. For giving it to me, well, peace be with you.
Lord, my Lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandment.
Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him. Give him the ring and bring him, if thou canst, unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste. Come, you and I will thither presently, and in the morning early will we both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
Onward, scene 2.
Scene 2 or scene 1?
Scene 2.
Scene
Scene
2.
2.
Enter Portia and Nerissa.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. Yes, sorry.
Okay, scene 2. Inquires the Jew house out, give him his deed, and let him sign it. We'll away tonight, and be a day before our husbands come. This deed will be well welcome to Lorenzo.
Fair sir, you are well ordained. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, hath sent you here this ring, and doth entreat your company at dinner.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you show my youth old Shylock's house.
That will I do.
Sir, I would speak with you. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
Thou must, I warrant. We shall have all swearing that they did give the rings away to men. But well I'll face them and outswear them too. Away, make present. Thou knowest where I will tarry.
Come, good sir. Will you show me to this house?
Act 5, Scene 1, Belmont, Avenue to Portia's house.
The moon shines bright. In such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise, in such a night, Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents, where Cressid lay that night.
In such a night did this be fearfully o'ertrip the dew, and saw the lion's shadow ere himself, and ran dismayed away.
In such a night stood Dido, with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks, and waft her love to come again to Carthage.
In such a night, Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew the old Aeson.
In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and ne'er a true one.
In such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her.
I would outnight. You did no body come. But hark, I hear the footing of a man.
Who comes so fast in the silence of the night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, I pray you, friend.
Stefano is my name. Somebody being shot? Stefano is my name, and I bring word. What's that?
Sorry, I was talking to the dog.
Oh, no, killing the dog. I bring word my mistress will, before the break of day, be here at Belmont. She doth stay about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
Wait.
Who comes with her?
None but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned?
He is not, nor have we heard from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house.
Sola, sola, woo-ha, hoo, sola, sola.
Who calls? Who calls?
Ah, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, sola, sola.
Glee, oh, holla sing, man. Here.
Sola, where? Where?
Here.
Tell him there's posts come from my master, with his horn full of good news. My master will be here ere morning.
Ah, sweet soul, he's in. Let's in and expect their coming. Yet, no matter. Why should we go in? My friend Stefano, I signify, I pray you, within the house. Your mistress is at hand, and brings your music forth into the air. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here we sit, and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is laid, thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdst, but in his motion, like an angel wings, sings, still choiring to the young-eyed cherubins. Such harmony is in immortal souls. But whilst this muddy venture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Come ho, and wake Diana with a hymn. With sweet touches pierce your mistress' ear, and draw her home with music.
I'm never merry when I hear sweet music.
The reason is your spirits are attentive. For do note a wild and wanton herd of race of youthful and unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing hand, which is the hot condition of their blood. If they but hear, perchance, a trumpet sound of many air and music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand, their savage eyes turned to a modest gaze by the sweet power of music. Therefore, the poet did feign that Orpheus drew trees, stones, and floods, since not so stockish, hard, and full of rage, but music, for the time doth change his nature. The man hath no music to himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. The motions of his spirit are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let no such man be trusted. Mark the music.
That light we see is burning in my hall. How far did that little candle throw his beams? So shines a good deed in a naughty world.
When the moon shone, we did not see the candle.
So that the greater glory dims the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king, until a king's be by, and then his state empties itself, as doth an inland brook, into the main of waters. Music, hark!
It is your music, madam, of the house.
Nothing is good, I see. Without respect, methinks it sound much sweeter than by day.
Silence bestows thy virtue on it, madam.
The crowd doth sing as sweetly as the lark when neither is attended. And I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day, when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better a musician than a wren. How many things by seasoned are to the right praise and true perfection. Peace, how the moon sleeps with Endymion, and will not be awaked.
That is the voice, or I am much deceived of Portia.
He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We have been praying for our husband's welfare, which speed, we hope, the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they are not yet, but there is to come a messenger before to signify their coming.
Go in, Nerissa, give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you.
Your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no telltales, madam. Fear you not.
This night, methinks, is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. This a day, such as the day when the sun is hid.
Oh, we should hold the day with the anthropods, if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Let me give light, but let me not be light. For a light wife that make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But God sort all. You are welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man, this is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should see in all sense be much bound to him, for, as I hear, he was much bound for you.
Oh, more than I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you are very welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words, therefore I scan this braiding courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were guilt that had it. For my part, since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
A quarrel, ho, already, what's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give me, whose posy was for all the world like a cutler's poetry upon a knife. Love me and leave me not.
What? Talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it you that you would wear it till your hour of death, and that it would lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths you should have been respected and have kept it. Give it a judge, clerk? No, God is my judge. The clerk will never wear hair on a face that had it.
He will, and if he live to be a man.
Aye, if a woman lived to be a man.
Now by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrubbed boy, no higher than thyself. The judge's clerk, a prating boy that begged it as a fee. I could not from my heart deny it him.
You were to blame. I must be plain with you. To part so lightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith into your flesh. I give my love a ring, and made him swear never to part with it. And here he stands. I dare be sworn for him he will not leave it, nor pluck it from his finger, for the wealth that the world masters. Now, in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief, and were to me I should be mad at it.
Why, I were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it.
My lord Bassiano gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, that took some pains in writing, he begged mine. And neither man nor master would take aught but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me.
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you see, my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will never come in your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I'm yours till again I see mine.
Oh, sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring and would conceive for what I gave the ring and how unwillingly I left the ring, when not would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honor to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable, if you have pleased to have defended with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony? Nerissa, teach me what to believe. I will die for it, but for some woman had the ring.
No, by my honor, madam, by my soul, no woman had it but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and begged the ring, in which I did deny him and suffered him to go displeased away. Even he that did uphold the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Oh, pardon me, good lady, for by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor overcome near my house, since he had got the jewel that I love, and that which you did swear to keep for me. I will become as liberal as you. I will not deny him anything I have, no, not my body, nor my husband's bed. Know him I should, and I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home. Watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, nor by my honor, which is yet mine own, I will have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I his clerk. Therefore be well advised, how do you leave me to mine own protection?
Well, do you so. Let not me take him. Then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
I am the happy subject of these quarrels.
Sir, grieve not you. You are welcome notwithstanding.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself.
Mark you but that, in both mine eyes he doubly see himself, in each eye one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me. Pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth, which, but for him, had had your husband's ring. Had quite miscarried, I dare be bound again. My soul upon the forfeit that your lord will nevermore break faith advisedly.
Then you should be his surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
Here, Lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor.
I had it of him. Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this, last night did lie with me.
Why, this is like the mending of highways in summer, when the ways are fair enough. What? Are we cuckolds ere we have deserved it?
Speak not so grossly. You are all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. There you should find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa, there her clerk. Lorenzo here should witness I serve forth as soon as you, and even but now return. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon. There you should find 3 of your argosies are richly come to harbor suddenly. You should not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter.
I am dumb.
Oh, I'm dumb. Were you the doctor? And I knew you not.
Were you the clerk that is make me cuckold?
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it, unless he live until he be a man.
Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow. When I am absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living. For here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to Rome.
Oh no, Lorenzo. My clerk had some good comforts too for you.
Aye, and I'll give him without a fee. There do I give it to you, and Jessica, from the rich Jew, a special deed of gift after his death, of all he dies possessed of.
Oh, fair ladies, you drop manna in the way of starving people.
It is almost morning, and yet I am sure you are not satisfied of this event at full. Let us go in, and charge us thereupon interrogatories, and we will answer all things faithfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn on is whether till the next night she had rather stay or go to bed now, being 2 hours today. But were the day come, I should wish it dark, that I were couching with the doctor's clerk. Well, while I live, I'll fear no other thing so sore as keeping safe Nerissa's ring.
Can I share a flashback memory? Just a quick memory. When I was still living in London, I went to see a number of plays, and one of them was I went to see a production of Merchant of Venice with a lot of big scale British actors. But who was playing Shylock? Dustin Hoffman.
Wow.
Oh, that would be a good one.
And he was unexpectedly boring. But anyway.
The critics are everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I saw it and I thought I agreed, so never mind.
Well, he's no Al Pacino.
But
That's true.
you're really
That's true. Anyway, thank you. This was fun.
Linda, 500 lines. I can't believe it. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And props to Moani. Moani, that's the first time she read.
Yeah.
Are you down?
Yes, thank you, Moani.
Moani?
Yeah.
Funny.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
You're
I'm
most
so
very
glad.
Good job, David.
Good
Oh,
job.
thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate
Good
it.
job. Yeah.
David, I love your dialogue.
Much harder than
Thanks
I
for
thought.
having the knife.
Yeah.
Oh my God, right. That scared me.
classic.
And next one is
right.
Merry Wives.
Merry Wives.
Merry Wives, okay.
Oh, the next one is Merry Wives.
Very wise.
Oh, cool, with the fun stuff. With fun stuff.
Okay.
All stuff.
Good women's parts. Good women's parts.
Yes, really good. Yeah.
All those women's
Okay,
parts.
see you next time.
Okay,
Yeah.
aloha,
Okay.
everybody.
Okay, aloha. Take care, Richard.
Greetings, Richard.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, ahui ho.
Ciao. Bye. Moani, I'm gonna call you.
Okay. Aloha.
guys.
Oh, ahui ho.
Ahui ho.
Oh, aloha.